Hey there guys, Gr33n and welcome to Green on Screen. I've got a bunch of stuff planned for this episode. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Theo Pluto. He's on Twitter and YouTube, and he does Let's Plays. I mean, he's got like one episode up. But I know him through Twitter. We've talked a lot, and he's a cool guy. He also went to PAX this weekend, and got a video of Nintendo Gr33n giving me a shout out, which was just awesome. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Also, obviously, props to Nintendo Gr33n for being Nintendo Gr33n. Secondly, something that I said I was going to do a long time ago and never got around to doing. It's time for my Vita games mini review as I throw one on the ground. My Vita games did come in. Got Uncharted, Golden Abyss. Yeah, Golden Abyss. Got Mod Nation Racers Road Trip and Rayman Origins. I have taken these games on 2 different trips with robotics and played them all to pieces. I have completed this one twice, still not done with this one, and almost done with this one. I'm really bad at Mod Nation Racers. It's a hard game. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with Mod Nation Racers. This is a kart racer. If you like Mario Kart, you'll probably like this. It's a really simple game. It's kind of like combining Little Big Planet and Mario Kart. You can customize your character, your kart. You can build tracks. You can like use the Vita's touch panel on the back to make mountains, and on the front to make valleys and stuff. You can make rivers, and you have tracks go everywhere, and it's so cool. And I am awful at making tracks, and you will not see one of mine published. But it's fun. Like I said, it's really hard. I haven't played too much online, mainly because I've only played it mainly on trips or in the car to and from like school places, and not much Wi-Fi in those places. But the online that I did play was really good, no lag, and they beat me. They beat me badly. So I'm going to give this game, let's say, a 4 out of 5. Graphics are fantastic. The music could be better. The music, it's good, but it could be better. It's not one of the best music soundtracks in games. But and obviously the AI may be a bit too smart. They're a bit too good. And I've seen this complaint elsewhere. It's not just me. A couple of my friends who've played it also felt the same way. But yeah, I like most of it. The creation can also be a bit complex, so I'm not going to point off for all that stuff. On to the next review. Uncharted, Golden Abyss. Uncharted, it's actually the game that the box of my webcam is sitting on. Or the game, Uncharted 3, the collector's edition, the big box. My webcam that you're watching from is sitting on it right now. Anyway, it's a third-person action adventure platformer shooter thing with a bunch of puzzle elements and the best soundtrack I've ever heard in gaming. The Uncharted soundtrack, all 4 games, 1, 2, 3, and Golden Abyss, they're fully orchestrated. They're just fantastic, so I love them. I love the soundtracks. The controls in this one specifically are really good. They've all had good controls, but when you're sniping and stuff, you can use the Vita's tilt to kind of get a more precise aim, and that helped a lot. There are also touch controls for the climbing and stuff, taking all of the work out of it, but that's all optional. My big complaint with this game is it does have some parts where you have to do gimmicks. You have to do charcoal rubbing, which is basically done by rubbing on the touchscreen. No big deal there. There is one puzzle. So I spent the trip down to Tennessee. I live in Ohio, so it's like a 6-hour trip. It was probably 8 hours when we stopped for food and stuff, and with 90 people, and when we actually got going. So yeah, I spent the trip down trying to beat this game. Made it to about chapter 20. There's like 35 chapters. I started the game that day, and I made it to about chapter 20. But I got stuck at about chapter 16 for like 30 minutes. Because there's this one puzzle where you have to use the Vita's camera. You're like holding up a page with worn out ink to a light, right? But you have to actually get a bright light in front of the Vita camera, which isn't a big deal, but it's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night now. And we're on a bus, and there's no light to be found. I finally found a kid. He had a flashlight, and it was super bright LED, and that ended up working rather well. So I finished the game, and I started playing through it again while I was down there. I finished it like the Thursday, and halfway through the Friday, and I started playing again. Before the end of the day Friday, I was on that puzzle again, and we were at the convention center. It was super bright. That, I couldn't get it to work. I had to, again, borrow someone's flashlight to get it to work. I eventually did figure out that because the Vita has a camera on the front and the back, it had to be brighter on the back than it was on the front. So I'm like partway through my third time playing this or whatever. You can just cover up the camera in the front, and that makes it a lot easier to do that puzzle. But it was still just a bad design. I'm almost certain the developers figured out that it was a bad idea. And that's why I give this game a 4.5 out of 5, knocking half a point off for that one puzzle, because it was that bad. And last but not least, my favorite game. But before we get to this, I'm going to go ahead and make an announcement. Y'all know I'm taking a Let's Play break. If you don't, follow me on Twitter, Gr33n. I'm taking a break from Kingdom Hearts and Paper Mario, because I am really burnt out on those games. And I'm going to be doing games still, but I'm burnt out on those two, so I'm playing 2 other ones. They're codenamed Surprise LP1, Surprise LP2. Oh, I'm so clever. Anyway, I'm announcing this here because people probably expect it to be either at the beginning or the end, and I want people to watch this whole video, not just to see what I'm playing. So I'm doing it right about in the middle of the video. The first one is Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's my favorite platformer ever. Playing through it again, it's just so great. I never did finish the game. I got the game back like when it first came out, back when I had my old Wii before it broke, and I didn't bother getting the save file off of that and putting it on my new Wii. So I got to World 8 and didn't play any of it. So I'm playing that world blind, I guess. But I'm technically 100%ing the game. So we're doing that, and it's going great. I'm like 11 episodes in, and I'm more than halfway done. It's going to be a really short game. The second one is a hack of Pokemon. I don't even know what version now. Leaf Green, I think? Leaf Green or Emerald. It's called Pokemon Naranja. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's a Spanish word, and I don't speak Spanish. It's the Orange Islands story arc from the anime. I know I have always wanted this to be an official game, and Nina Show the Landmaster also has. We've talked about that before, and I think it's going to be a good game. I'm playing it completely blind. I'm only 3 episodes in, and I'm completely stuck, so I'm going to find a walkthrough there. The grammar is awful because it's translated directly from Spanish to English. So I don't even know, and some parts are still in Spanish, but you can get it all if you actually know Pokemon. It's a hard game. A lot of the Pokemon have changed. You'll see as we play along. But what I've got right now is looking good. I'm excited. So yeah. Enough about that. Let's get on to Rayman Origins, my favorite game that I own for the Vita. Actually, I have a 4th one that I can review. I guess these 2 would tie, but this is a platformer. It's a speed-based platformer. You've got to do a lot of running really fast to get to the end of the level before whatever's chasing you gets you, or there are scrolling levels, or you're chasing something else. It's really crazy. A lot of levels also have speed runs, which I'm in the process of going through right now, and I could not enjoy them more. So yeah, there's that. As you can see, it's cartoony, it's 2D, it's that whole hand-drawn type animation, which I love. I think it's awesome. It's got, all 3 of these games really just look so beautiful on the Vita's OLED screen. This one uses none of the gimmicky controls. It's all used with the control sticks, the shoulder buttons, and the face buttons, which I very much appreciate, because I thought that was a bit of a pain in Uncharted, but still a good game. This is the one I currently have on my Vita. I'm working hard to get through it, except school's starting back up from spring break, so I probably won't play it until the Robotics Nationals, which I will talk about more later. But, so yeah, we got this. The music in this game is also fantastic. And it's 4-player. I have not played any online co-op, but it is co-op. You can also play if your friend has a Vita. You can do that, but I don't have any friends that have Vitas. Go buy Vitas. All of you. It's a fantastic system. My favorite handheld ever. It's just, the games are so much fun. Specifically this one. I mean, this one, I played this one level in this game 6 times in a row, because it was so much fun. And I felt awesome because I could beat it. But anyway, this is a really hard game, and I love it. 5 out of 5. I legitimately have no complaints, other than that sometimes the difficulty can be a bit hard. But it's really just trial and error. So you get to that, and yeah, you finish the game. I need to play online still. That could lower the score to about a 4.5, but it hasn't been. And last but not least, I have Escape Plan. It is a downloaded title. This only uses the gimmicky controls. It's all touchscreen, tilt, or rear touch panel, which is... At first I didn't expect it to be very good, but I read a lot of IGN. I love IGN. I love a lot of the guys that write for them, and I agree with a couple of them most of the time, specifically the Beyond cast, the PlayStation guys. Greg Miller, Ryan Clements, and Colin Moriarty. And Colin was so excited for this game. He tweeted about it a bunch. He wrote like 4 editorials on it, and he talked about it non-stop on Beyond, the podcast, the PlayStation podcast of IGN. If you don't know, I'm super into it. And yeah, he talked about it a ton, and it was only $15, and I had a bit of extra money, so I figured I'd get it, and I did. And I loved it. It's a puzzle game. It's so hard, but it's so funny. It's all in black and white, right? You control a small character and a big character, like super skinny, short, and super tall, fat, named Lil and Large. And on their chest are numbers, and the numbers tell you how many times you've died with each character in the whole game. And I didn't do very good at the first time. And there's just so many puzzles. And each level is so unique. And there's free DLC coming out next month, which is always a good thing, getting free DLC. And it's a prequel, so it explains why they were in the facility in the first place, and why they had to escape. The game's music, while completely unfitting, is fantastic. It's basically elevator music, which makes no sense because you're playing this crazy puzzle game, and if you die, you die if you get hit. They blow up. They just like explode into black goo everywhere, which is implied as blood because it's black and white, but it really doesn't have like blood physics, so I don't know what it's specifically supposed to be. But whatever. There's that. And then halfway through the game, exactly halfway through, after you beat the second world, there are 4 worlds. There's an intermission, which is just like a 3-minute cutscene of the enemies in the game. They're all just basic one design. Dancing around, unfitting music, tons of slapstick comedy, and it's so funny. I know this game probably won't appeal to many people at first, but trust me, it's totally worth picking up. And it's not expensive. It's $15 for a download, which is fantastic. All Vita games, at least most Vita games, I know all 3 of these are available at download for $5 off. $5 off normal price. 40, 30, and 50. First-party titles are 50. Most third-party titles are 40. For some reason, a couple of them are 30. Didn't really matter because they were awesome and I wanted all 3 games. The story about why I got this one, I've actually never played Mod Nation before. I've played Uncharted and Rayman before. I grew up on Rayman. But anyway, this game, Amazon had a buy two get one free deal, and I was gonna get Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but they ran out of stock of that one, so I picked this one up. And I kind of prefer this to Marvel vs. Capcom. Anyway, so after that, and yes, Escape Plan, 5 out of 5. No complaints at all. Nothing. It's a fantastic, nearly flawless game. Anyway, so yeah, there's all my Vita games. Oh gosh, I just hit the camera. I hope I wasn't over there the whole time, gosh. Anyway, I don't think I was that far over. Anyway, as I mentioned previously, robotics nationals. Not nationals, what's it called? Worlds, I guess, world champions. Because there are teams from like Canada and Brazil and Israel going. But anyway, my team made it. So we get to go to that, and that's in about 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks sounds about right. So that's like 5 days. So if the hotel has a good internet connection, I may have enough pre-edited, pre-recorded footage to continue uploading. I may also request the help of Mr. Insanity, Togolover, JP Finch 01, and Theo Pluto. I may ask you guys, and probably like Knives in the Toaster, or Espeon some number. I don't know, I'll just be sending out a tweet. E. Williams 2011, maybe. I'll be sending out a tweet asking if anyone would be willing to do an upload for me over, while I'm gone. That would take a load off my back, because then I wouldn't have to worry about my laptop running out of battery, or sucking all the Wi-Fi, or whatever. And I could guarantee that my videos get up, and I could just have them edited, send them to you guys, and you guys could upload them. That would be fantastic. I'd send him to Nisho, but he's going, so I can't do that. So if you're watching and you'd be willing to do that, comment down below. No, it's cool. I'll send out a tweet or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, go ahead and talk about my surprise Let's Plays. Donkey Kong, gonna be awesome. I'm going to have some co-commentators, at least one that I know of. I'm trying for 2. But I'd like to get a second one, maybe, if possible. I know I have one. I'm recording that, oh gosh, in about 20 minutes. And that's just going to be super awesome. I'm so excited for that. It's unannounced at the moment, unless you follow me on Twitter, in which case you already know. Because I asked him on Twitter publicly, because I'm cool. Anyway, I say anyway far too much. Yeah, so I do that too. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next week. Oh, one more thing. I'm currently in the process of setting up and I was going to announce this. Do I want to? I've started. I'm currently in the process of setting up an alternate channel for Green on Screen, titled Green on Screen, which is available, I assume. Not many people go after channels with those names. Similar to Breaking NCS or A Secret Patrick, because I feel like I'd be more likely to remember to do this weekly if I put it on an alternate channel that doesn't get content 5 times a week. So yeah, hopefully by the end of the month I have that going. You'll see tweets about it. I'll probably talk about it on this channel. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. You accomplished something by turning this on today. Good night. How do I turn this off?